You know, yesterday after I did the video, I was looking in the comments and somebody had made a comment about how seeds today, or how food is becoming seedless more and more. You know, we already know about seedless grapes, but seedless watermelons now. And how cucumbers are having fewer and fewer seeds in the cucumber. There's more and more meat, but fewer and fewer seeds. And I actually heard from somebody that there are actually, the squash are having less and less seeds. This is not a new problem. In fact, it's a very old one. Shalom, shalom, this is following Yahshua. Welcome again to the Rock. You see the title. You know, when the Most High created the heavens and the earth, he said that he made every seed-bearing fruit. And now we have so many seedless fruits. I find that rather interesting. But this is not a new battle. No, just hang with me for a little bit. In the time of Moshe, Moshe was trying to cut off the Hebrews because they were becoming too great. And he went after the men. The men, or the little males, the young boys. Because he understood that by cutting off the male seed, the boys, the ones who carry the seed, he could effectively cut off the Hebrew people, prevent them from reproducing. He could effectively end them. So you have to understand, whenever there is a removing of seed, there is an attempt to squash the ability for people to reproduce, for people to continue, for food to continue. You remember, seed is also information. It says in the Apocrypha, in Sirach, you know, when you have gotten a fruitful possession in all thy field, sow it with your own seed. So the idea of cutting off information or people is not new. Pharaoh was doing it, trying to cut off the male seed. And that has happened many times throughout history. And now we have seedless grapes and watermelons and men. You know that verse, brothers, when it says, you know, if you've gotten a fruitful possession in all thy field, sow with their own seed, trusting in the goodness of your stock. It's in Sirach. Look it up. I'll post where in Sirach exactly in the description. That means that you want to make sure, men, that you are always sowing your own seed. But see, the whole idea right now is to remove seed, remove the ability for people to reproduce, remove the ability for food to be grown, to reproduce food. It's an attack. It's an all-out attack. See, they already hit the grapes and watermelons. Now I don't know if you've noticed, but the cucumbers are more and more meat and less seeds. Same with the squash now. It's because when you want a dependent people, or you want to cut off a people, you have to go after the seed. Whether it be the children, whether it be the food, you want to go after the ability to reproduce. You want to go after the ability to create more. And when you control the food, you control the people. Or if you want to cut a people off, control the food and make sure they all have to come to you to get it. So there is a war on seeds. I do sell seeds, by the way. If you are looking for seeds, I don't have my website up yet, but if you send me an email, and my email address is in the description of this video, send me an email what you're looking for, and I can we can email back and forth, and I can give you the quote and everything. I am getting the website up, by the way. But there's been an effective attack on seed, whether it be man's seed, you know, through the sterilization process that it's been stated many times that how they tried to sterilize men to cut off their reproduction, abortion, like we saw in the Bible in the time of Pharaoh, just a straight up attack, and the elimination of men, or the boys, the young males, cutting them off because you can cut off seed. Now you fast forward to today, and there's all out an attack on it, and it's noticeable now. The stores have less and less seeds. Companies have less and less seeds, and now everybody's interested more and more in heirloom and organic seeds, because they know that the seeds are being tampered with. The ability to become self-reliant is becoming tampered with. See, when you understand this thing agriculturally, when you understand how important seed is from an agricultural perspective, how you always kept seed from that year to sow the next year, and that kept the reliance. You could be more self-reliant on yourself. When you look at these cucumbers, I remember, for those who don't understand, or don't know, I grew up in very bad areas. And when we lived in very bad areas, people weren't as dependent, when I was young, on food stamps and all these government services. So I lived in the hood, and in the hood, it seemed like everybody had a garden. Because people didn't have money like that. So everybody had a garden, whether they were growing peppers, or they were growing collards, or cucumbers, or bell peppers, or some people grew onions, and some people grew the green onions, Swiss chard and mustards and tomatoes and many different herbs. People grew herbs. They grew the herbals. I mean, they really did. That's where I lived. They grew herbs. People grew things. And I remember with the cucumbers, my mom told me the story when she was alive, that her and my brother, and my uncle, used to grab cucumbers and throw them against the wall because they hated cucumbers because they ate so many of them. And one day they were throwing them against the wall. My grandma came out there and was like, we were a poor family. Well, they were a poor family. And they were throwing them against the wall. And my grandma was like, why are you? And then she stopped. And she was about to chastise them and then stopped. And then said, okay, you'll pay for this. Well, the next year, they threw my mom told me that they threw like 50 or 60 cucumbers against the wall. Well, the next year, all those seeds from those cucumbers came up. And there were hundreds of cucumbers. My grandma made them eat every single one of those cucumbers. Because the cucumbers had seeds. And the seeds were able to reproduce. And they grew, and there was an ample amount of seeds in the cucumbers. Well, today, the seeds are gone. Seeds are gone today. They're leaving. They're effectively removing seeds from food, which is obviously a very interesting process, because how do you get seedless grapes? I was just at Walmart and I saw they were selling those seedless grapevines. How do you get seedless grapes? Do you ever think about that? The seed. How do you plant a seed to get a grape that doesn't bear seeds? I find that very confusing. I don't know. Maybe they propagate the roots or something like that. But anyways, there's an attack on food. And there's an attack on men. Men. You also have to understand this. Seed is information. Inside of that seed is enough information to grow a plant that bears more seed. And we just read in the Apocrypha, if you have gotten a fruitful possession in all your fields, sow it with your own seed, trusting in the goodness of your stock. Seed is information. Why are you allowing people to put information in your field? Being your wife. See, this thing I could do a whole teaching on seed. Why are you allowing other people to sow their seed into your field? Because seed is information. Inside of that seed, men, is DNA to create somebody that looks like you. Inside of that seed that you put in the ground is information that'll allow another plant to grow like the parent plant. And you allow somebody just to come and sow whatever they want to in the field, your field. So that when it's time for reproduction, I'm not even talking about seed as far as semen, I'm talking about information. And that's what the Bible says in Corinthians. Wives, if you wish to learn anything, ask your husbands at home. At home. So that you are receiving his information. You are receiving his seed that he is planting Not just, women always want the seed that's going to be implanted into their, their vagina. What about the seed that comes into here? That affects your way of thinking. Men, your seed should be the one being implanted in her. Not just the physical seed as far as semen, but I'm talking about the seed of information as well. That seed should not be coming from this world. It shouldn't be coming from other religious leaders. It should be coming from you. You should be sowing your seed in your field, trusting in the goodness of your stock. So yes, there has always been an attack on seed, on information, dating all the way back to the time of Moshe. All the way back then. Seed, fruit, food. There's an attack. And the whole point is to strip away your possession, your inheritance, and to make you dependent on somebody else for you to eat, for you to get information, for you to live. I could go on and on this, but I'll stop here. Those that have the ears to hear, hopefully they can hear what is being said in this video. There's an attack on seed. And pretty soon, the way it looks like it's going, they're going to control everything. Everything is going to be seedless. And therefore, they're going to remove your ability to be self-sufficient. They're going to remove your ability to take care of you. And they'll do the taking care of. To end that, it just makes me think, like I said, when I was, back when my parents were children, we didn't have this big welfare system because everybody, had the gardens. Everybody grew something. And today we don't. And it seems like the system is making sure that you don't. It's only a matter of time before tomatoes are seedless and eggplants are seedless and cucumbers are seedless. And it's just only a matter of time before everything's, hybrid and modified. And you're not going to be able to get anything heirloom. Well, that is unless you grow it and you produce it and you save the seed yourself. Bless y'all. Hope you're having a blessed day. Hopefully you think about the words. If you find anywhere where they are selling seed vines or rootings where there actually are seeds in the grapes, let it be known. Go ahead and put post a link in the comment section. I know there are many people who are looking for vines, but they can't. They're all seedless. And the grapes that I have right now, they do have seeds, but my grapes are not at the point where I can propagate them yet. Be aware. There's an attack on good, heirloom, organic, wholesome seed. Men, don't lose yours. Bless y'all. Shalom.